And I was quickly checking the brackets. It looks like Nice versus Jeshi is going to be over on Steadfast's stream. So I'm sure he's going to be following that series into Björn. So you can check him out if you want to see some of the other matches.
Which you should. Multi-twitch it up. We're only having a couple of, open matches remaining as we kick off our best of 3 semifinals here on Inside Out. I don't remember a quote from that movie at all. But in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we of course have a blue Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea. He of course is going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. He is herO.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Inside Out LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player himself, currently teamless, representing himself, but going to Krefeld. It is the red Protoss player. It is a classic.
Important to point that out, I guess. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where you get the teams.
Yeah. On-site gaming.
Actually did kind of forget that he qualified.
Yeah. You know, you
have to be reminded.
One of the few top tier players that is currently teamless, but again, still looking to prove his worth. Can he do it? Can he take down someone of the caliber of herO? Can he prove to the world that, you know what, he is someone to take into consideration?
I believe
too.
Onside Big Boss, you're still watching.
We'll see, mate. We'll see. So far, the openers are pretty standard. Because on Inside Out, we do have a ramp. We have a pretty awkward ramp, actually, now that I look at it.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's definitely an asymmetric kind of ramp that's leading into the space. You don't really have a lot of space on the left side. You have plenty of space on the right side, and you know, if you're spawning at the top side, then invert that. So I guess this makes sense.
Yeah, it just makes the wall a little bit awkward. I kind of like the way that Classic has done it, kind of. It does mean that there's an area here that, you know, you can maybe abuse, or...
I mean, if it was a PvZ, then that gateway is definitely...
very exposed.
Definitely has a lot of, surface area exposed to it. But it's a PvP, so you can get away with it.
Yeah, I do think that like Ling harassments or Ling floods early on could maybe abuse this, depending on how the Protoss player does end up walling off. But for the time being, both players are just trying to play that dance, you know, delay each other, trying to expand as they would. herO does get his Nexus up. Classic, a little bit delayed.
Yeah. But on the flip side, Classic gonna get his Phoenix a little bit quicker than herO. Not by much, though.
Yeah, the Phoenix is already out. It is already going to be... Oh.
Wait, did he cancel it?
herO has
his Phoenix out. Yeah. Classic canceled his Phoenix and started producing an Oracle.
Interesting. Especially because he sees the Phoenix, by the way. So he's well aware of it, but here we go with 2 Phoenixes. Both units will be picked up here. herO can now defend. He even has a shield battery as well. That pylon is getting a little bit low, though. Uh-oh.
I just realized that Probe from Classic is still alive.
It is.
Never got that. Sell it, man.
herO is playing with fire right now. Like that pylon is getting very low. Yo, it's gonna go down.
That pylon. Oh, the battery overcharged just at the last second. herO, what a Chad.
Oh my god, at the same...
just taunting Classic over there.
I think he's gonna lose it though, like with 3 Stalkers.
Yeah, 3 Stalkers, yeah.
Mate, and Warp Gate isn't done. It's not done. He needs 7, 6, 5, 4, up.
Warp Gate should finish up. But still, this is a lot of production to be taken out this early on. Everything is, just deep power right now. herO working on remaking that, and there are a decent amount of Phoenixes out already, so they can shut down the rest of the Stalker harass, but even still,
Yeah, and Classic, he's just reinforcing across the map. He's making another Oracle. The first Oracle didn't really do much of anything because it was a shield battery in the main base, but with the second one, maybe he can turn the tables a little bit here. Finally, herO has reclaimed control of his side of the map. Things looking very scary there for a while.
Definitely, definitely. But the tables are definitely starting to turn as well. Classic, I guess, lost the initial Oracle. This is the only one that he has remaining. He's about to have 0 Oracles, actually. Phoenix control is absolutely what herO does best. And he shows it off once again, shutting down just about everything Classic is trying to throw out.
Thankfully, Classic does throw down this base before the probe gets picked off, so he does have a third on the way. Does have a decent amount of stalkers, good target fire, does force herO back. And, you know, Phoenixes are good, but they are limited in what they can do. They cannot deny this third.
Not at all. herO definitely lacking a little bit in the ground army. That is the main way that Classic is. That's the main advantage that Classic has going for him. But we'll see how long that lasts, as there's no anti-air here in the main base.
Oh, no anti-air, no shield batteries either. Yo, probes could fall left and right, but at the same time, Classic is going across the map with his stalkers. This should force a recall.
Yeah, that's definitely what Classic is hoping for right now. But there are defenses still here in the natural base for herO. herO turns around regardless. Doesn't utilize that recall, but Phoenixes are quick. He can get away with it.
Yeah, they are quick, boys. He does dive on top of this army. He does pick up the majority of the stalkers, and just like that, he was just going to dominate this engagement.
Like so. Immortals are now out just to really shut down the stalkers once again. Classic almost playing a bit of a mono battle here. And herO is shutting it down. He is countering it completely and directly.
Oh yeah, herO is throwing down a proxy pylon as well to try and reinforce across the map. He is committed. A Warp Prism is on the way. herO does not intend to expand and take a third base. That's why he doesn't have one. Boys are being pulled, which is fine. Classic can afford to lose workers right now. He just needs to stop this push.
Which he will not, or at least he should not. I'm looking at the army supply difference right now. Yeah. And even these zealots, they are slow, but they are dealing damage. GG is called. herO takes game number 1. That Warp Prism didn't even need to be there in the end.
It's true. We didn't even need the Prism. We didn't need that pylon in the end to reinforce across the map. But Classic maybe being a little bit too greedy there, not really respecting the position of his opponents. Specifically, I'm a little bit surprised that at that third base, he didn't throw down any shield batteries. There wasn't any kind of additional supportive, like, defensive structures.
Yeah, he was playing extremely greedy there. And I kind of get it. You know, he kind of needed to in that position just because his initial harass with the Stalkers and the Oracles didn't get any economic damage. But still, better to be alive than rich.
True.
or maybe not. Yeah, I guess it really depends.
No, very true, very true. Classic. We'll see here as we get into game number 2. And is this the last map that we haven't seen yet?
No, there's one more, which is Moongazers.
Oh, true. We haven't.
Yeah, we have. But yeah, we're running it off. Wait, no, Moon Dance.
Moon Dance.
That's the one. Yeah.
It doesn't help that we have 2 very space-related map names here in the map pool.
3 if you count data.
Yep. Yeah, you're not wrong. As we are loading in for the first time here on the CranKy Ducklings Stargazers.
Is that a song? I feel like that's a song. Entirely certain on that. As yeah, we continue our best of 3 semifinalists here on Stargazers LE, or Reverse Blackburn in a way, if you look at the mini-map. Here in the top right-hand corner, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner of the map, we have a Blue Protoss player coming down from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. He is herO.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Stargazers ESL, we have the South Korean Protoss player himself. He is red. It is Classic.
And you get a little bit of a star in the middle of this map, so I guess that's where the name comes from. More importantly, though, If you look at the map all the way in the south, it kind of looks like it's Frowny Face.
Kind of. That is very important.
Whoa!
Oh!
I did not realize this about the pocket bases.
Wow, I didn't
This
realize.
is cool.
This is sick, mate. Oh my god. So we have pocket bases, but we have some mineral patches here. 10 minerals each. Gonna be blocking this, so it's gonna take a little bit if we want to take this base. It's gonna be that much more a little bit annoying and delaying.
And on top of that, you also have mineral lines that are kind of blocking the entrances to these bases. So it's not really... I mean, they are kind of pocket bases, but also not quite. This is more like a golden wall kind of base.
Yeah, yeah. It's a pocket base, but for how long?
It's a pocket base, but it's women's pants.
What? But women's pants don't have pockets.
They have fake pockets.
True.
Some of them, anyway.
But here we go. We see a little bit of a difference here between our two players. We do see Classic already mining out this mineral patch. herO sees this, so he just throws down the pylon.
Might as well. You gotta delay the base wherever it's intended to be taken. However you can.
However you can, mate. Meanwhile, Classic, because of the delay, he's forced to throw down his Stargate instead. Looking at the vision of herO, he throws down a second pylon. He has not seen the tech yet.
Yeah, hasn't really been able to go in.
Oh my god.
Secondary scout, but herO is just making sure that Classic will never expand.
Oh my god, is he gonna let the pylon finish?
Though.
He does, but the probe goes down. I'm sure he wanted to double back and throw down a cyber core, but alas, with the death of the probe, Classic will finally clean this up, and oh, you don't even see it cancel.
Interesting. I guess it does delay the base by at least a little bit here.
Oh, exactly. Meanwhile, herO is here with 2 of his stalkers. He does have 1 additional gateway, so he is being aggressive across map. Does take down the pylon, does break into the main base of Classic.
The Oracle pops out, and it is surprisingly used to defend. I mean, I guess it's a good way of making sure that he is able to defend, but now that reinforcements rocking up, and that Oracle is rapidly running out of energy.
Oh, it really is. It just runs out of energy, but just in time, Classic is able to hold the line and force his opponent back. Meanwhile, oh my god, herO!
So cheeky. So cheeky here in the middle of the
He's
map.
He's coming in! Or at least he's trying
to see it. Hello? herO? You gonna mind that out?
Yeah,
buddy?
Maybe the probe is a little bit bugged. I don't know if
it may be. Is he?
Maybe he's
I don't know.
Maybe my guess is maybe the probe is rallied into the base, or is trying to get into the base. And
I mean, there's no rally right now.
Oh.
Yeah, he's clicking on it.
Yeah.
You can't mine it out. You can't mine it from the low ground, I think.
Yo,
is that the thing? Because
I
think that's what it is.
Is it vision related?
You need vision.
Yeah.
I think you do.
Do you need like something controlling the tower and then you can mine it?
I mean, that or a flying unit.
True.
But yeah, I think that's what it is. Yo, who made this map?
Was that intentional? I mean, the minerals are on the ramp specifically, like in the middle of it, so this has to be intentional, right?
Yeah. Very smart, whoever made this map. It's purple, so I'm assuming it's Mara's.
Probably.
But it may not be.
It may not be. It may not be. But again, we were a little bit distracted by that. Classic does get his base up and running. herO, his own, was already up because his wasn't delayed. It didn't have any of those pylons to deal with. The Phoenixes do get into the main base, do pick up a couple of these workers. Classic was so scared, by the way, that he made a Void Ray. Interesting choice here. Ideally, you don't make this unless you feel like you're being all in.
And he wasn't being all in, but, you know, at least it keeps him alive for now. He is getting back onto his tech by producing those whatchamacallits.
Yeah. Oh boy, I gotta try and refocus on
yeah, I am so, yeah. My mind is so preoccupied on those minerals.
I want herO to try and mine it when he has high ground vision to see if it works. To see how this patch works, to see if it's bugged or not, or what's intentional and what isn't. Meanwhile, we do see that herO is following this up with Blink Stalkers and a pretty fast Robo. Oh my god. Throws down another gateway. I don't know if he intends to take a third.
Probably not, I imagine. End up trying to sneak their way in, get a little bit of a follow-up scout, but yeah, the Void Rays and the Stalkers are going to make short work of that.
Exactly. Meanwhile, we do see herO getting into the main base, confirming the production here of his opponent, recognizing that, hey, it's the same thing. It's basically mirrored here, except for our units. We have the Void Ray instead of the Phoenixes, and Classic is actually moving out. This is spotted here by herO, as he did have control of that watchtower.
Yeah, not high ground vision, though, unfortunately. Got a little bit of a cheeky proxy being set up here by Classic.
Interesting. I wonder if this third is a fake from Classic, because, oh my god, he blinks into the bucket! Oh no.
He had the high ground vision. He could do this, and he's going to depower a whole bunch of gateways here. Well, two gateways, but that's basically having the production right now of herO. Prismatic alignment being popped, and it is making short work of the Stalkers. But the control of herO is really starting to turn this around for him.
Yeah, the ability to CC these units means that even though Classic caught herO completely off guard and blinked into his main base, herO was completely fine. Despite not having the production, his control was just on point, and he does defend.
Not only defend, but he's setting himself up to mine out that mineral patch with high ground Phoenixes. but also to counterattack as well, I guess, is the more likely thing.
Yeah, he does end up taking his third base much later than his opponents. Again, interesting that herO has left his pocket base alone for the time being. He hasn't been kind of tempted to take it, not yet.
But soon.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Classic once again wants to be a bit of the aggressor here. Gonna dive on top of some of these Stalkers. Does trade out pretty well. Ooh, even takes out a Phoenix.
I'm really leveraging that higher army count right now. That's coming from the better economy as well.
Yeah, and herO's just really struggling to engage. He loses his second Phoenix, and now he can't CC the way that he was earlier. I'm surprised that he's trying to dance with this. Does pick up a Stalker, I guess, but...
It's not much in the grand scheme of things.
Enki, no!
Oh!
Enki!
¿Por qué?
Is Enki becoming the new, oh my god, I was...
Emil?
Emil?
I mean, they have similar names. And they're from similar, like, close by countries.
Walks of life.
Yeah.
You're not wrong here, as Classic does rock up at this third base again, completely out-positioning herO because of these observers. Classic knows exactly where the army of herO is, and just like that, herO does have the bit of a better concave, but he doesn't have the numbers.
Yeah. Can't really make up for that. The high ground, yeah, it does help a little bit, but Classic, he just blinks on top. That's the power of observers and high ground vision.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, Classic is being forced back, but again, he has a massive supply lead right now. He's breaking on forward. The boys are being pulled, but it is just not going to be enough here for herO. Classic blinks on forward once again, and because he can afford to, he just has the numbers.
Yeah. He doesn't care about losing his units right now. herO forced to pull the boys, but he was already behind. This is honestly pretty crippling. I have a feeling like that we may not see that mineral patch being mined out.
We're not, unfortunately. I wanted more Stargazer, but we're not going to get it here as Classic blinks on forward once again. GG gets called, and Classic will take game number 2.
We are tied up. Sideways 1-1.
Exactly. Like, it felt like a really good start for herO, but he was being a little bit careless with his army control in the mid game. He was just losing unit after unit, and we got to see that Classic was really able to capitalize on his faster third and better economy. herO was just struggling to keep up a little bit.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have the high ground vision.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to be fair, like, I'm sure herO wanted to be more aggressive. Like,
yeah,
if only he
had a
could mine
plan
through. Yeah,
going into this.
Yeah.
He just didn't account for needing vision.
That's one of those things where not being able to practice on these
yeah.
maps, like, there are little quirks that you may not be aware of.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot more Stargazer. as we conclude our best of 3 semifinales here on Waterfall. ESL. Waterfall, of course, being in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. You notice, it's flowing, it's cascading. But not in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. On the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have a Rapid of his own. No, that doesn't work. A Force? Whatever. Our blue Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming. EPT. He is herO.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Waterfall ESL, we have the South Korean Protoss player himself tying up the series 1-1 in that last game. It is ClanKy. We're getting a lot of maps with ramps, mate. I've noticed.
Yeah. A lot of inclines coming along.
Yeah.
I wonder what that is all about here.
Well, I mean, just
subconscious.
Yeah, we only had a handful of them in our previous map pool. So because we're getting so many more ramps, I think it does kind of lead to a less hectic and a more macro-oriented style of PvP, at least on 2 bases. So I think this is like a good way for map makers to really address like how aggressive PvP can be at certain times. And this matchup is going to be influenced by this quite a bit.
Yeah, hopefully the pendulum doesn't swing the complete opposite direction. But yeah, there's definitely a lot more potential right now for both Zerg and Protoss players to sort of build it. Oh, the waterfall is actually going down. It's not going. Oh.
We found the waterfall.
I thought it was coming down and then flowing to the left, but no, it's actually flowing.
Well,
from the Okay, I thought it was the okay. And they're like lily pads.
Yeah, I love this aesthetic especially. Like the river, it's going under a bridge, and the bridge is transparent.
Looks like one of those fancy gardens or parks that you get every now and then.
Definitely. Meanwhile, we do see a very different dynamic between our 2 players here. One, herO was trying to be a little bit cheeky, hiding a pylon, but ClanKy does find it, so he knows that there is no proxy, and ClanKy takes advantage of this ramp, is going to be going for a much more economic opener. herO, playing this out a little bit more scared, goes for the double gate opener instead.
Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him. As ClanKy, yeah, he is not going Oracle first this time. He's going straight on the aggression with his Phoenix. He wants to be active with his units on the map.
Exactly. ClanKy, he beautifully defends against the first shade of Adepts. This double Adept opener from herO has done nothing for him. He can't even use this to help defend against the units in the sky, as ClanKy is going into those Phoenixes. Meanwhile, can herO avoid the Phoenixes with his Oracle? Oh, it's going to be a little bit careful. He does get past.
Now. But the Phoenix actually turns around. It actually wants to deal with that Oracle. Zealot does slip into the main, gets a little bit of a scout, but not much beyond that.
Yeah, the Oracle slips on in, is going to get a couple of probes. 1, 2 probes go down, but the Phoenixes are going to be able to deal with the rest of this. Can he get a 3rd probe?
He cannot. Unfortunate targeting here for herO. And now ClanKy's going across the map pretty much unhindered. He has started Oracle production behind all of this, and yeah, things are not looking too good for our blue Protoss player.
Yeah, herO, he's behind in the economy, he's behind in the tech as well because his Oracle did nothing. The Adepts likewise, we have a full wall up, so the Adepts, they just can't do anything either. Like, this is just not going the way for herO, and he even loses 4 probes.
Yeah.
Oof. Also, I just want to say that I love this kind of like forest floor look in the middle. Like, this looks really aesthetically pleasing. I love this,
really
actually.
You get a little bit like a swamp or like a shallow area there that you can walk past, and there's moss. It's probably frogs that hang about there.
There's moss, Yaku. There's moss.
Moss.
Meanwhile, second Oracle comes in and it avoids the Phoenixes completely.
Yeah, so this time he's actually able to get a lot of damage done. He's actually overtaking the work count by a little bit here.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, this was pretty necessary. This was huge. This should not have happened. For the second Oracle to get 6 probe kills, herO without that would just be perpetually behind in this game. So thankfully he was able to somehow bypass all those Phoenixes, and now he's evening things up a little bit.
Speaking of Phoenixes, though, they are back with a vengeance, and they pick off a couple more probes. Classic overtaking the lead, but not by much.
Yeah, not by much. He even went for his own Oracle, but herO is in position. This Oracle Classic isn't going to do much of anything here. Does survive though, so gets Revelation off, could dip in later on once again. And the Oracle of herO is still alive, by the way. Still alive.
Coming in again, it's coming in again. Where are the Stalkers? Not here, but there's a shield battery.
There is a shield battery.
Reaction?
Oh.
There is a reaction.
Just some little swine time here for Classic. You know, he is able to deal with this in the end. The Phoenixes are on the prowl. They're trying to hunt down this Oracle, and it looks like Classic has found it, but herO has found the Stalkers. Or found the Phoenixes.
Ah. But on the flip side, Classic has found the Stalkers.
Yeah, and here we go. We have a proxy gateway coming out from herO. 3 gates is the 4th gate in total. So herO going to be very aggressive here with his Stalkers. Can he push up and break through this ramp? No shield batteries have been set up. Classic, I don't think he recognizes really the situation he's in. He just blinks up.
Yeah, if he knew what was coming his way, these Phoenixes would be at home. They would be crowd controlling the Stalkers. But instead, they're across the map trying to deal counter damage. Classic will survive, but not without taking a couple of losses.
Yeah, Classic, he's down in that Stalker count again. No shield batteries again. I'm shocked that he didn't throw any down. We have a second blink into the main base by herO, and Classic is losing everything.
And a blink of an eye. Once again, his army is just too split up to be able to deal with this.
Yeah, and Classic was indecisive with these Phoenixes. He was like, maybe I should try and do some damage, maybe not. Now he comes back, but by the time he comes back, this is a little bit too late.
Yeah, if these Phoenixes were here at the start of the engagement, no doubt about it, Classic would have defended. He would have been in an amazing position, but he had no clue whatsoever that herO was going to be this aggressive. It's 22 supply versus 10. GG. herO takes that series 2-1 and will be our first finalist of the evening. Classic, meanwhile, going to be falling down with the water.
GG, well played. He does fall with that water. Honestly, he had a really great opener, I feel. Classic did, to that game. But, God, with herO being as aggressive as he was, and Classic not taking it as seriously. Again, one of the best defensive tools for Protoss players are the shield battery, you know? We're all well aware of that, and there were 0 shield batteries, despite the fact that there were multiple phases of that aggression from herO. Like, Classic just didn't really invest in any of that defense. His Phoenixes were a little bit idle across the map, not really counterattacking or defending. Oof.
But I don't have a rebuttal, actually. That's yeah, pretty much exactly what it was. Classic, without a doubt, misread the situation that was coming his way. herO being very cunning with his proxy location and how he played that out. So, you know, very much credit to herO there, but Classic definitely had the tools he needed to defend. He just didn't utilize them.
Yeah, exactly. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. herO does take the series. He will move on here to the grand finals, where we expect him to be honest. And he already has... Oh, does he have his opponent ready for him?
Are they out of game?